Hello everyone, my name is Lai Wai Sang. So today I'm going to talk about JavaScript functions. So first we're going to move to is the introduction of basic types of function. So what is a function? A function is a set of statements that take inputs, do some specific computation and produces output. Basically, a function is a set of statements that perform some task or does some computation and then returns the results to the user. The idea is to put some commonly or repeatedly done tasks together and make a function so that instead of writing the same code again and again, but for different inputs, we can call that function. Like other programming languages, JavaScript also supports the use of functions. You must already have seen some commonly used functions in JavaScript like alert. This is a built-in function in JavaScript, but JavaScript allows us to create a user-defined functions also. We can create functions in JavaScript using the keyword function. The basic syntax to create a function in JavaScript is shown below. So here's a syntax, and here is an example of how to create a function by using the keyword function. So we'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so to create a function in JavaScript, we have to first use the keyword function, separated by name of function and parameters within parentheses. The part of function inside the curly brackets, which is this one, is the body of the function. So now we move on to the next one, which is function definition. So before using a real user-defined function in JavaScript, we have to create one. We can use the above syntax to create a function in JavaScript. Function definition are sometimes also termed as function declaration or function statement. So here, below are the rules for creating a function in JavaScript. So for the first one, which is array function, should begin with the keyword function followed by the next one, which is a user-defined function name, which should be unique, and the next one, which is a list of parameters enclosed within parentheses and separated by commas. And we move on to the last one, which is a list of statements composing the body of a function enclosed within curly braces. So here's an example of how to use the curly brackets, and yeah. So next one, which is in the above example, we have created a function named calculate addition. This function accepts two numbers as parameters and returns the addition of these two numbers. Function parameters. Till now we had heard a lot about function parameters but haven't discussed them in details. Parameters are additional information passed to a function. For example, in the above example, the task of the function calculate addition is to calculate addition of two numbers. These two numbers on which we want to perform the addition operation are passed to this function as parameters. The parameters are passed to the function within parentheses after the function name and separated by commas. A function in JavaScript can have any number of parameters, and also at the same time a function in JavaScript cannot have a single parameter. So we can move on to the next one. So now we're going to talk about calling functions. So calling functions is after defining a function. The next step is to call them to make use of the function. We can call a function by using the function name separated by the value of parameters enclosed between parentheses and a semicolon at the end. The below syntax shows how to call functions in JavaScript. So this is how to call functions when using JavaScript. And below is a sample program that illustrates working of functions in JavaScript. So here's a sample program. Move on to the next slide. So here's the input code for the sample program, and here's the output. So lastly, you can move on to another one, which is return statement. Return statement is when there are some situations when we want to return some values from a function after performing some operations. In such cases, we can make use of a return statement in JavaScript. This is an optional statement and most of the time is the last statement in a JavaScript function. Look at our first example with the function name as calculate addition. This function is calculating two numbers and then returning the result. The most basic syntax of using the return statement is return value. So lastly, the next one, which is the return statement, begins with the keyword return separated by the value which we want to return from it. We can use an expression also instead of directly returning the value. So that's all for my part. So now I'm going to pass it to my member, who is Bryan, Chua, Yong, Kang, and thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Bryan Kang. Now I want to present about the JavaScript and HTML form input type. The input type test, which divide a test. The test method set or return the test content of the select elements. When this method is used to return content, it returns the test content of all match elements. HTML markup will be removed. When this method is used to set content, it overrides the content of all match elements. And the tip is to set or return the inner HTML text plus HTML markup of the select element. Use the HTML method. Next is the input including text. The JavaScript form validation of input text HTML form validation can be done by JavaScript. If a form file fname is embedded, the function alerts a message and return false to prevent the form from being submitted. Next is the test form, and this is the input code, and it is the output code.
Hi, I'm Wee Feng. So now I'm to present about the input type radio, which define a radio button. Radio buttons are normally presented in a group, a collection of radio buttons describing a set of related options. Only one radio button in a group can be selected at the same time. The note is the radio group must have shared the same name to be treated as a group. Once the radio group is created, selecting any radio button in that group automatically deselects any other selected radio button in the same group. You can have as many radio groups on a page as you want, as long as each group has its own name. The value attribute defines the unique value associated, which is radio button. The value is not shown to the user, but is the value that is sent to the server on submit to identify which radio button that was selected. And this is the input radio, including the radio. This is the output, and here the another one.
I manage the Chee Hau. The input type checkbox with different checkbox. The checkbox is shown as a square box that indicates check when activate. Checkboxes are used to when a user selects one or more options of a limited number of choices. Then this is a input inclusion checkbox example. This also okay. Then I show the output. This is the output. Okay, think of this assignment. Thank you very much.